I wrapped everything up in both gardens, so everything is planted. Some things I did throw down that were just seeds. This is my map of everything that I planted. This first one where it says M, melons, those are my cantaloupes. And you can see here in the corner and here in the corner and kind of down the side, which would be these 3 here and these 4 over here. Actually, there's 5. Those are my melons. And there were different types of tomatoes on this row. So it is always important to make sure you map out what you planted unless you are really good at labeling all the plants. As you notice, I didn't label anything, so I'm going to be using this video as well as my map. I flipped over the paper to write down the map on the other side of my tree line, which is back there on the other side. I'll show you that in just a second. I'll go ahead and quickly run down what all I planted. I have some beans that actually came back. They were kind of in various areas, and so I just kind of transplanted them up along the edge here so it will grow up the trellis. I have a couple of bean plants on this side back there in the corner. I probably should plant some more beans along here. This is my asparagus. This was asparagus that I threw some seeds down several years back, and now it's actually producing. We cut a bunch of them this year, and we got to eat and enjoy our harvest from the asparagus probably a few times this year. Should just be getting better every year. I'm letting these go to seed. Here's some crows. I have a lavender back there. I also had some other lavender seed and sage seeds. I went ahead, I think they were sage seeds. They were either sage seeds or they were basil. But either one, it's fine to grow through here. I planted a couple of sweet peas, the flowers back here. I have some marigolds. There's a marigold there, a marigold there, a marigold there. And if you follow my videos, I'll show you how enormous they usually get. They turn into, it's almost bushes. And then I have marigolds on the other side along the far end of the bed. These are my tomatoes. I did a different staking method this year. I don't know if you caught my video. It was the tail end of last year. It was a note to self video. I wanted to document my progress of how things went, what went well, what didn't go well, what I plan to change. So one of the things I decided to change, instead of cages, I went ahead and Todd helped me install these posts on this side. I installed these posts here. I have 3 tomato plants on this side and 3 tomato plants on this side. In the center, I decided to plant some basil seed because they are great companion plants with tomatoes. I planted my cucumbers. These are the munchers here, and I have a few plants inside here that are should grow up on this trellis. I started planting some dill in here. My plan is to plant more as time goes on. I need to also plant cilantro. I don't think I did that yet. Sometimes I throw seeds down and I forget that I did it until after they come up. But I do want to say, so this is my chives. My chives are doing fantastic. And they just keep coming back year after year. Obviously, they are flowering right now. So that's good. I see some dill that are coming back again from last year. There's a little bit here, but I did plant some dill in the back along with some basil. I planted sunflowers in this box, and then there's one on the other side over here. This is my garlic. They're doing amazing. I have some, oh no, it looks like some of my lettuce is bolting. I probably need to get in here and make sure I eat as much as I can. I have some parsnips. I probably planted them at the wrong time of the year, but I need to go ahead and get those dug up. And there's some carrots back there, probably the same. All these trash bags, these are all shredded leaves. I did a video last year in the fall time, and I demonstrated and did a review on The Works. It is basically a shredding machine for leaves. I can go ahead and link that video so you can check it out. I tell you what, it is a fantastic tool. It's one of those tools you only use maybe once a year. Well, I actually pulled it out several times in the fall to clean up all the leaves, but I prepped all of my gardens in here, all of my beds, after I cleaned all my garden out, I cleaned out my chicken coop and I added their pine shavings with their poo, their fertilizer in it. And then I shredded up leaves and I added that to all of my beds, and I let that set all winter long. And my goal was to try to prevent weed seeds from popping up, and it worked. Like, I didn't have issues. There were very few weed seeds that came up between last year when I added the shredded leaves and, well, now that I'm planting. So it wasn't a lot of work for me this year. Now, something else we added to this bed, we also amended it this spring several weeks back. Todd got a truckload of compost and we added it to each of these beds. But I waited to till in last weekend because, again, I didn't want to disturb any weed seeds or anything like that. Or if any weed seeds would drop in, I didn't want it to start the process until I was getting ready to plant. These bags right here, I didn't get to it yet today. I'm going to try to tomorrow, but I am going to cover all of these beds and use the shredded leaves as mulch. Let me show you. This is the material right here, and it does a pretty good job of shredding up the leaves, but I will pop that video below. So on this side, oh, I see some bean plants. I probably need to transplant that up closer to this post right here, but I also planted some green bean seeds. I soaked them overnight. On this side, I have a lavender, a sage, and I also did sprinkle some more lavender seeds and sage seeds over here. Basically the same as what I did on the other side, and also planted that sweet pea flower. They were seeds. Oh, and some nasturtium seeds. So we'll see if those grow. I planted some green bean seeds down through here. Marigolds all along the back side. And then I think I did one down here in that corner too. These are all my pepper plants. If I recall, well, let's see. Let's look at my map. So I have the green bell peppers, which are the GBs, which are these 6. And then next I have, actually there were 8. So those 2 also. And then I planted jalapenos. I got 6 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We love to make cowboy candy, which is this, and we can it. So that will be a video in the future. I planted more jalapenos over on the other side too because I love the cowboy candy. It's delicious, and we eat through it so quickly. And then I planted poblanos. I had 3 poblanos, 1, 2, 3. And then I planted banana peppers. I did 2 banana pepper plants. So over in this area, I kind of threw down some basil, and I also sprinkled basil in between some of the pepper plants as well. There's the marigold, there are my melons. I put some sunflower seeds back here. I also planted sunflower seeds here. I think that is most of it. Okay, I planted some parsley seeds here and in a couple of other areas, like in the corners here and the corner right over here and maybe the corner over here. I am so bad. Sometimes I just throw seeds down and I forget that I did that. I did add a couple of strings here, if you see that. It's to help hold the asparagus back so it doesn't flop over into this area, because that's what it tends to do. And it looks like there might be some, possibly cilantro that came back. So it's either cilantro or parsley. So that is this bed. And let me show you on the other side. Got my chickens out free ranging. Looks like they're coming my way. I think they think I'm going to feed them or something. but I'm not. Got our raspberry and blackberry bushes going. This is the third year. I see some flowers on some of them. There were a couple raspberry plants that died, so Todd had to buy a couple, but I imagine we're going to get some this year, but next year should be really good as well. We should get quite a good harvest. We have some blackberry bushes along the side here, along the edge, that is growing wild, so we could always collect those if we wanted. Anyways, okay, so in this bed, Todd added, we had the 2 rows all already up, down this side and this side. And then we already had the arch up. Now, what Todd did prior to me planting, and it was after I tilled, but before I planted today, he added some fencing, like right in the front here. He added a makeshift gate, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then he closed off with a little bit of fencing right here. You can see this hardware, it's a 2x4 hardware. He just added some bungee cords. And it's that simple, just enough to keep the deer out and the chickens. Okay, so when you walk in here, I wanted to test it because this used to be my pumpkin patch. So this is the first time I'm actually growing vegetables in this bed. So I have cucumbers. This is I believe it was Sumter, I think is the name of the cucumber. I germinated those probably about a month ago, and I got those in the ground today. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those plants here. And then on this side, I went ahead and I planted green bean seeds that were soaking all night, because I didn't know which one would be best on this arch for growing. So I decided this year is going to be an experiment. I'm just going to try both and see which one did better. In this area, I planted some sunflower seeds. I also have marigolds, a couple marigolds planted there. And I can't remember if I planted any other seeds like, oh wait, let's look at my map. I think I planted some sage seeds right here, and on this side I planted some lavender seeds over here, and then I planted sunflower seeds up through here. Again, I have marigolds right there, and then I have, these are all my cucumber plants. Same cucumbers as right here. So I have all of my cucumber plants all down the row, and I did throw in some dill seed. A little bit. I'm not sure how it's going to do, because I usually don't plant dill this close, like in between the cucumber plants, but this is the first time I'm growing out here, so we'll see how that does. I might have to unfortunately yank it up, but we'll see. It might work too. I have pepper plants. These are all of my jalapenos. So I have, so there should be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got a little one over there. 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 jalapeno plants here. I'm going to be, hopefully, this is going to be my walkway in between the cucumbers. And I went ahead and I put these cages up just to kind of show where the plants are. And I'll probably leave it there too for support. This is bare right now. I might possibly add some of those Marzano tomato seeds that I'm germinating. Well, they're growing now in my grow room. And then you can see these 4 cages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cages. I put in rows of bush beans. So I had those seeds soaking. So I'm planting 2 different types of beans, green beans, bush beans and pole beans. Along this fence line here at the bottom, all the way down, I have the pole green beans. I did put a little bit of dill seed here in this corner. I have marigolds, marigold, and one in the corner over there. And then I also threw down some sunflower seeds, like a couple rows of sunflower seeds back there. I ran out of basil seeds. I might buy some more basil seeds, and maybe if I don't plant tomatoes, I might put basil seeds in here and have them grow. That also is a good companion plant to the peppers. So if you want to continue following me on this journey to see what my garden is going to look like, and I will share the successes and failures, be sure you follow. And Todd and I both make all types of foods and can different things with the vegetables that we are planting this year. And we were very deliberate with what we were planting. We decided we weren't going to plant a whole bunch of different types of vegetables like I have in the past. We know what we like and what we eat. We do a lot of canning for different, like the jalapenos I told you about, cucumbers, tomatoes, the different sauces. So we're going to focus on that, and we'll see how this year treats us and how Mother Nature treats us in the gardens. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I appreciate you. And that's a wrap. Until next time, thank you for watching.